Hello everyone, welcome to our channel United Chokros from Mumbai. We are back again. This is the second episode of the DV and AB show. Today we're going to do the match analysis and reactions from Brighton Hove Albion versus Manchester United. We have AB with us today. He is also upset like most of the United fans. Yes, we won the game. Those were three lucky points, but there's lots to talk about, lots to improve. And if we have to finish in a good position, we have to improve our squad as well. So, AB, what do you think about yesterday's match? What went wrong, and are you happy with the result?
We have to be happy with the result, but we did not deserve it. To be very frank enough,
Yes, absolutely.
uh,
Yes,
looking at the misses, I would not say misses, but they had a lot of opportunities as compared to us. They struck the post almost four times. So just
five,
imagine had
five,
those been converted.
5 times,
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed one
five
because
times.
there were so many that there were
So
huge
many.
chances that you would lose the game anyhow. But had those been converted, even one or two those been converted, would have been easily losing the match. So
Absolutely.
the lucky VAR, which always helps us to win a match, which is being a trend nowadays. Our talent has become zero. I feel we are completely dependent on the VAR. So thanks
Yeah.
again to VAR. I will not say thanks to Ole or any of the players for that matter, except for Bruno. But thank you VAR for saving us and getting us 3 points. What do you say?
Look, looks like we cannot win a game without a penalty or help of
Absolutely,
VAR.
absolutely.
Now I wanted to tell me, see, if you were watching yesterday's game, the second penalty which was awarded and then later turned down by VAR, if you see, Pogba was defending that goal. Where are our centre backs? Pogba shouldn't be the one should be going back and defending. That is the thing which is disturbing his rhythm. And after the season has started, in fact, after the lockdown, he's not been the way the Pogba we used to know. Passing the ball,
Absolutely.
playing with flair, the efficiency, all of that is missing. We were all excited for the duo of Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, but it hasn't clicked the way it should have been clicked. And what I felt yesterday was Ole went wrong in a lot of match tactics and team selection in the first place itself. I guess Eric Bailly and uh, Eric Bay should have started ahead of Lindelof, and Pogba should have been on the bench. I guess either Fred or Donny van der Beek should have started. Don't you feel that Donny van der Beek deserves much more game time because he's a man in form and playing much better than Pogba, and Pogba is not match fit right now.
I think so. Once he's come back from COVID, he's not 100% fit. That is what I could see even from the last game. Uh, Van der Beek, just giving you an example, look at the last game that he played, not the yesterday's match, a week earlier match. He just
Correct.
came for hardly 15-20 minutes and he scored a goal. And more important than that was he was taking runs. That is very important. Whenever you need to score a goal, the most important part is how to create a goal. Scoring is a different thing altogether, but taking runs, taking all those initial steps to score a goal is very important, which Pogba is not able to do nowadays. So I think, as you said, first of all, I was very annoyed looking at Lindelof in the starting squad. I was not expecting him, especially after the previous game which Bai played, the complete 90 minutes. He was superb. I mean, there was no doubt that he should not have been there on the squad. I was expecting his name, but again, as I said, it was a surprise to see him. Uh, I really don't want Lindelof to play right now. Let him rest. Maybe let him sit back in the bench and see how he plays. He
Yeah.
has to be a bit strong. And then coming back to Van der Beek, I think so. He deserves a 90-minute entire game. And Pogba can take some rest and maybe can just try after a match or two. It's absolutely fine if he takes some rest right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can bring in a substitute, to increase his match fitness. When we are in a winning position, Van de Beek is done
Absolutely.
well, so he can come on as a substitute and gain some match fitness. And there are over like 50, 60 games in the season, so Pogba
Absolutely.
will get his chance. Right now, he needs some rest. He needs to get back to 100% match fitness. You could see that there is not 100% Paul Pogba that we used to know. The way he used to create, his imagination, all of that is missing. Right now, he needs to go back on the bench. Van der Beek needs to start. I know Ole wants him to play at number 10 position. That's what Ole needs to figure out. I mean, if you are
Right.
a good manager, you can of course do that. Pep Guardiola used to play David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne together. Both were number
Correct.
10s. He used to accommodate both of them. I think that shouldn't be a problem if you are a manager at a club like Manchester United. He should be able to accommodate them. Now, apart from this, I also wanted to talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, the first goal that went in penalty, Bruno Fernandes considered that penalty. But if you see, that run of play happened because Wan-Bissaka lost the ball. Now, what he could have done is he could have either passed it back to the goalkeeper or he could have cleared his lines. But he was trying to take on a defender. You can't do that in a position, no matter if you're a Messi or Mbappe. That's not the position to take on a player. That's what uh, led to the play, and that's when Bruno Fernandes, ended up foul. That is Bruno's fault. I mean, he should have tackled in a better way or should have waited. Shouldn't have committed so early. But still, Van Bissaka was very poor. The number of runs March made from their left hand side, that was really bad. I'm not sure is whether it's his fitness or his lack of concentration, whatever it is. He needs to get back to 100% because even Fosu Mensah was not that good against Crystal Palace. I mean, if you see the second goal, we had 5 defenders on pitch because Eric Bay had come on, and still that many rooms, that many crosses, there was no one to cover. Even Harry Maguire is equal at that fault because he's a captain and he's the one who needs to organize the defense. What do you think about the right hand side yesterday? What went actually wrong?
Well, as you said correctly for the first goal, but coming back to the second goal, what scored against us, it was actually not deserving, if you see, because the player was completely unmarked. And to be very frank, that is Van Bissaka's player. If he's coming right down on the corner of the left-hand flank, Bissaka is supposed to basically mark him down. And he was completely left unmarked again in the box, which is being a very common scenario nowadays, that the opposition players are running very easily in the box. They are not being covered, they are not being tackled, they are left completely blank. And once they get the ball, it's a simple tap in for them, right? They don't have to do any kind of special
Correct.
tricks or anything of that sort. It's a simple tap in. And I think for the second goal again, I would say it was Bisaka's fault. Some player who's coming right at the corner, you know, as a goalkeeper, I will not blame
Completely
David De
unmarked.
Gea because he will be maintaining his center position if there is any kind of shots coming at him right at the center. But the post, I think so, the defenders need to mark them. And again, I would say second goal was Bisaka's fault. And
Absolutely.
Maguire, as you said correctly, he's the captain. He needs to anchor the team. He is the one who needs to tell the defenders where and what is to be done. But if you see, yesterday also, David De Gea was really very angry because they were taking a lot of shots on goal.
Lot of
And
shots. Yes, yes, absolutely.
exactly, and as a defender, it's your duty to come right in front of the shot,
Top.
block them out.
Correct.
Yeah, max to max, you can try it for a corner maybe, but not pressurize a goalkeeper. Because if
Mhm.
he's taking shots on goal right away, there are huge number of chances they would keep on trying that in the entire game. And uh, nowadays even Dagias seems to be losing all his concentration in the game. I don't know what is
Yeah.
happening to the team. And none of the players are having their concentrations on maybe a big gap or maybe the scare of COVID. I don't know what is the reason behind it. But players need to be back in the form. I can see only hardly one or two players whom I can rely on. I think so.
Correct.
Bruno is one of them whom I can completely rely on in this team. And Matic in yesterday's game,
Oh,
he was
it was
simply superb.
amazing. Superb, superb match.
So these are the only two players whom I think when the ball comes to them, I think so they can maintain it and maybe they can do something with the ball. Apart from them, any of these players, the rest of the nine, it's like completely they're just doing guesswork. Maybe if they can do it or they cannot do it.
Correct, correct. So players are all over the field. There is no organization. You could see the man marking absolutely shit. There's no,
Absolutely.
I'm not sure what is Ole's tactics here. Now, there are a lot of people, you all know that United fan base is divided into two sections. One of them support Ole and one of them are Ole out. So now what happened was that after the two games, the Ole out chants have become louder and louder. Now I am not Ole out, but then those tactics need to improve because it won't take rocket science for Jose Mourinho next week to figure out what our weaknesses are. After the lockdown, what we did was we used to pass it from the back, play slowly, give it to Matic, and then midfielders used to create spaces, and our wingers used to score goals, and attackers used to score goals. Now teams have started figuring this out. If you last season's game towards the end, Southampton, caught us playing a slow game at the back. They were pressing at us very hard, and they figured out what our weakness is. And then after that, most of the teams got to know our weakness. The same has carried on in the next season as well. And it won't take a rocket science for someone like Mourinho to figure out what our weaknesses is, and we are vulnerable at the back. So we need to change our tactics. Our team selection needs to be better. We have another game uh, in the midweek. It's a League Cup game, so there's another chance for players to get match fit. And if we can improve in that game and go into the next game with much more confidence, I think we should get something out of that game. But it will require a lot of hard work, determination, and at the same time, there needs to be positivity among the players in the team. Yeah, that I think that is missing as well. What do you think about the positivity and the environment surrounding the transfers and all the negativity in the social media? Is that affecting the team?
Well, the problem with us is being a United team or a United fan, we are not used to looking at this kind of gameplay or this kind of scoreline on every game.
Yeah,
Nowadays, the initial thing used to be the last 10 minutes used to be a foggy time and we used to score a goal. But nowadays, it's going the other way around. In the last 10 minutes, we are conceiving a goal. These are not
correct.
normal things that you are seeing nowadays. Somewhere down the line, it does also affect the players, how it affects the fans too. But we need to get it done as soon as early because this is just the start of the new season, and we cannot be losing points right away. As I
Correct.
told in the last video as well, would like to again say the same thing, and maybe I'll keep saying the same thing all over again. That there are going to be very difficult teams which we are going to face. Maybe coming week will be Tottenham, and then there are likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool. Also, let's not forget all these five big teams losing points against them, maybe you can say it's a benefit of doubt. Team could have won either way. But if you are losing points with smaller teams, losing with these big clubs, you will just be ending up maybe like a sixth or seventh in the table, or maybe somewhere, like maybe even in the
Hello.
10th spot, or maybe in the
Correct.
next sheet,
Uh,
which comes from 11 to 20. But I don't want to see that. It
mm,
is high time that Ole tries, not experiment on every game, but at least give the new player a chance. You have given enough chance to Lindelof. That's what I feel. Uh, I don't see any kind of improvement. Yeah, he's improving for the opponent, not for our team. He is just becoming much more better player for them, but not for us. And then I would say let Lindelof rest, let Beek play, and then let Pogba also rest and let Van der Beek play.
yeah,
Let them give a chance. Let them start because starting a
mm,
game and then stretching it for 90 minutes or maybe till the 80th minute gives them a boost that they have done something good in those minutes rather than just coming for 10, 15 minutes and not being able to show what they exactly can show their game.
correct.
And especially with Van der Beek, I think so he's too quick. Pogba can take a rest maybe. He can see how the quickness and what he is missing.
Yeah,
There are many a times that the youngsters teach the professionals how to be playing again in the modern times. And if
yeah,
Pogba can get a couple of easy things to learn from him. He's not doing something great. He's just playing his normal game and he's just being very quick. What the game demands nowadays, being quick and being more alert when to take those crucial runs. Maybe like a quick crucial run gives you a through ball. You're one on one with the keeper, and there are 90% chances that you would score, and 10% chance the keeper might save it. So I
yeah,
would say give Enderbeek a chance, let him play, and Pogba, please take rest. Come back once you're completely fit.
yeah.
And Lindelof, I don't want to see him in the squad. I'm sorry, I'm being too frank enough about it. But let him rest
He
and
need,
play
he
for.
needs to rest now. Yeah,
He
he
needs to
needs to
rest.
get
Yeah, he
more
needs to
fitness.
rest.
Yeah,
I think so. He's given
correct.
ample of opportunities, and
Yeah,
if he's like a two-star or a three-star, I don't see him coming to a five-star rating anytime in my life. He's just degrading game by game. So it's high time that he rests and maybe let Tabai play.
yeah. And before I end the show, I just want to talk about a bit about transfers. Now, after the game, Ole said that we don't need to sign defenders. We have 6 to 7 defenders at disposal. do, do, do you think does
Well,
that make any sense?
that
Because
would be a good joke to laugh about that we don't need a defender. Sorry to interrupt you, but we seriously need a
no,
defender. Only please don't give statements like Edward would.
yeah,
We need a defender, and we need it anyhow. Maybe don't take Sancho. I'm okay with that, but we need a defender. Let's
yeah.
be very frank enough. We need a
I'm
defender
going.
anyhow.
I'm going to tell you what will happen if we don't buy enough players in the position that we require. We'll start losing games like this. We'll start dropping points. And when December, January approaches, Ole out chants will get louder and louder. And at the end of the day, he will get sacked. A new manager will come in, and all the focus will be shifted from the how incompetent the board is to how bad the manager is. And again, a new manager will come and start winning some games. There'll be some positivity. The board will back him a bit in one first transfer window, and then again, if he achieves the second or third place, they won't back him. So I don't want people to divert their focus from the actual issue. We had two world-class managers before Ole. They couldn't do anything. I know Ole's tactics have not been up to the mark a lot of times. In fact, before Bruno came, there were a lot of times his tactics were got caught by teams which were 10th, 11th position. Those teams were used to beat us. If you remember the game against Burnley, we lost at Old Trafford before Bruno came. That was pathetic, really bad. And I know the board is more at fault, but the sign Ole needs to improve his tactics as well. If I know the board is not giving him the players and the positions that we need to strengthen as have not been done, but with those players you cannot afford to lose 3-1 to Crystal Palace or do what they did yesterday. We can do better. There needs to be a much better organization in the defense. Matic has come back, so I'm really happy. He's organizing the midfield really good. Pogba has to sit, like you rightly said. Van der Beek needs to start, and our forwards need to start scoring goals. Rashford needs to be much more proactive. He was good in the second half. The way he scored goal, I really liked it. The individual brilliance was there. There was a bit of spark, so something positive was there, but we need to improve a lot. What do you think that whether need a centre back or we should be happy with a left back and a right winger?
Well, as I've said earlier as well, I would again say the same thing. We need a centre back. I'm not really looking for Sancho because we always, we waste a lot of time looking for Sancho and the same days and just thinking about that he'll come and we'll have a good attacking team. But I don't see that happening. So just keep him aside. Let's see what the next step needs to be done. I think so. We are decent with attack. I will not say we are good or we are the best with attack. We are decent when it comes to attack. It's only that we are not able to score the goals. We are trying to press in the box, but when it comes to scoring a goal, that is where I think so we lack. But a centre back, I don't have even a single percent doubt in my mind that we don't need a centre back. We seriously
Yeah.
need a centre back. The reason for that being, for example, now look at the performance from Lindelof. Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe that we try to bench him up someday. We try Bay, and you know how Eric Bay is. He would play 2 3 matches and then he would go down with an injury, and
Yeah.
ultimately then we are left with Lindelof again. So back to square one. The person who we
Yeah.
don't want in the team, we have to again then play him the entire season.
Yeah.
So that is something which I don't want to see. I want someone who we can rely on. So
Yeah.
I cannot 100% rely on Lindelof for sure.
Correct.
He's a
Uh,
seriously in a centre back because see in forward if you see or maybe the right attacking midfield if you see we have Greenwood, we have Daniel James, we can experiment with them. We have a couple of options, but when it comes to defense, we don't have options left with us. So we
Correct. Correct.
seriously need a centre back, and there is
Okay.
no doubt in that.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And see, it's not just us. If you can, you watch yesterday's Chelsea game. They've invested so much in attack and midfield, but they haven't strengthened their defense. Yes, they did
Absolutely.
bring Thiago Silva, but Thiago Silva is, out of his prime. He's a 33, 34-year-old player. So this is what defense is. That's why defense is so important. If you have a good defense, you can win games. You can win games with a couple of individual brilliant play here and there. But if you don't have an organized, good defense, no matter how many goals you score, you are going to concede on the other side. And that's when you will start dropping points. So with that, I will like to end this show. And I feel that we need to do a lot better. The League Cup game in the midweek will serve as a opportunity for players to regain match fitness and hope we can, by the time the Spurs game approach, we can get more confidence. We can get a couple of players here and there, from the transfer window, and have a good team so that we can start getting points and start winning games with more flair and in a better way, unlike yesterday.
I would say that the midweek game would be a better game just to give more experiment. Just try Bay and try Van de Beek. Let them start the initial game, and maybe then we can see how they perform in the initial stages, and not bring them as substitute and just allow them to play the 10 minutes. And if they play a better game, then it's a very good possibility that they could start again in the weekend match against Spurs.
Correct. Okay, guys. So with that, we end our show. Please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back in the midweek with the weekly transfer show. I'll be doing the transfer show for all the clubs and ins and out and players linked. We have just over a week left. So goodbye for now. Thank you, Abhi, for coming on the show. Bye.
Thank you. Pleasure.